how many times did you hit her in the face?
Around 5.
Was she still moving when you had your hands around her neck?
Oh yeah, and then she dropped into the water. After that, she was just lying there.
Picture this, a life full of love and happiness where each day is filled with joy. Then right near your home, something terrible happens. What makes it even more heartbreaking is that no one would come to help. A peaceful evening suddenly shattered by an unimaginable nightmare, leaving scars that go deep. This is a story that will touch your heart and lift your spirits in unexpected ways. In this video, we're going to take a heartfelt journey into the life of Karina Vetrano. Her dreams, hopes, and aspirations were taken away from her in a cruel way. We'll explore the shocking events that led to this tragedy and the unwavering quest for justice that followed. Stick around as we uncover the different aspects of this gripping story. You'll see the determination of the investigators, the strength of a grieving family, and the incredible support from a community that refused to give in to hopelessness. This is a story about bravery, resilience, and the restless search for the truth. Now, let's get started. 30 years old, Karina Vetrano's life was a vibrant tapestry coloured with love and ambition. She resided in a lovely home on 84th Street and attended Malloy High School, the same school her father had graduated from in 1974. From what we've heard about her, Karina was a lively and outgoing young woman. She had a wide circle of friends and a multitude of interests and dreams. But Karina was more than just outgoing. She possessed remarkable intelligence and introspection. She was not only a fitness enthusiast, but also had a deep love for poetry and writing. She often described her life as beautiful yet chaotic, a whirlwind of experiences and emotions. Karina's presence extended far beyond her immediate surroundings. She had a substantial following on social media. Her posts showcased her adventures across the globe, from Europe to Egypt, where she even rode camels by the majestic pyramids. Her father, Phil, once remarked that she had lived more in her brief 30 years than most people do in 10 lifetimes. In addition to her social media presence, Karina maintained a blog where she delved into her thoughts on love, sex, religion, and even death. Her writings inspired a short film called The Paradox, which explored the complexities of a girl fascinated by innocence yet drawn to predicaments. On July the 12th, 2016, Karina celebrated her 30th birthday in true Karina fashion. She embarked on an incredible journey to the French Riviera with some close friends. One memorable night, she took a photo of herself at the Promenade des Anglais just 24 hours before a tragic terrorist attack claimed the lives of 85 people in the same location. Despite her youth, Karina had already achieved an impressive milestone. She earned a master's degree in speech pathology and worked as a speech therapist specialising in autistic children. Her bond with her family was profound, and she cherished those connections dearly. It was on the evening of August 2nd, 2016, that tragedy struck. Around 4 p.m, Phil went to pick up Karina from the train station after she finished work. They decided to swing by a local pizzeria called Gino's, where they grabbed some pizza to enjoy at home. Back in their cosy kitchen, Karina, her parents, and that fresh pizza shared the table. Karina, a lover of running and a training for the marathon in Cuba, had just experienced a breakup with her boyfriend 2 days prior. She wanted to clear her mind and decided to go for a jog that evening. Phil, nursing an injured back, expressed his reluctance to join her. Concerned for her safety, he had heard about some unsettling incidents near Spring Creek Park, with reports of vagrants and sketchy characters frequenting the area. Karina, determined to go for her run, reassured her worried father, saying, "It's okay, Daddy, I'll be all right." She put on her running gear, donning running shorts, a sports bra, and blue gold New Balance running shoes. With her phone and earbuds in place, playing her favourite tunes, Karina embarked on her short journey to Spring Creek Park, a mere 2 blocks from home. Little did she know that this routine jog would take a sinister turn. Karina, a petite figure at 4'11", was captured on street cam footage jogging down 83rd Street, heading toward the park. Little did anyone know that this would be the last footage of Karina Vetrano alive. As the clock ticked towards 5:46 p.m, still illuminated by daylight, Karina reached the corner of 164th Street and 83rd Street. Her usual route would lead her to turn right and head back into the neighbourhood towards safety. However, on this fateful day, something inexplicable happened. Karina turned left, stepping over a low guardrail, and ventured into the dense undergrowth towards a path she knew well. With music playing in her ears and engaged in texting with one of her closest friends, Karina disappeared into the towering weeds. The narrow dirt path, approximately 8 feet wide, 12-foot high walls of dense greenery. But then, suddenly, her text messages to her friend ceased. Concerns started to develop at Phil. He made several attempts to call her cell phone, each one met with an eerie silence. As 2 agonising hours passed without any sign of Karina, panic set in for Phil and Kathy, her mother. Kathy knew that it was incredibly unusual for Karina to be gone for this long without contact. She began frantically calling Karina's phone, but there was no response. Worried and sick, Phil reached out to a neighbour and friend who happened to be an NYPD officer, seeking his assistance in finding their daughter. With each passing moment, fear continued to tighten its grip on their hearts. They had no choice but to report Karina as a missing person. Hours stretched into the night, and still there was no trace of her. Phil, his heart heavy with dread, walked the dimly lit paths, calling Karina's name and leaving frantic voicemails on her phone. It was during this desperate search that he spotted Karina's phone on the ground, its screen eerily lit up. A sinking feeling overwhelmed him as he dialed her number repeatedly, all while running towards an area overgrown with towering weeds. It was there, in the heart of the thick underbush, that Phil's world came crashing down. He found Karina, face down in a small clearing, her lifeless body bearing the marks of a terrible attack. In the darkness he held her, his heart shattered into a million pieces. Officers, alerted by Phil's anguished cries, rushed to the scene. They gently implored him to step away from his daughter's lifeless body, awaiting the arrival of the CSI team. Karina had suffered a brutal attack. In an ineffective attempt to defend herself, she tightened her fists. Her body bore the scars of scratches and bruises, and one of her hands still clutched a desperate handful of brush, evidence of her valiant struggle against the merciless unknown person. It was a nightmarish scene that would haunt her family, the community, and investigators for a long time to come. The discovery of Karina's lifeless body marked the beginning of an exhaustive and relentless investigation. The New York City Police Department launched a massive manhunt to find her killer. The local community rallied around together, shaken by the heinous crime that had occurred in the quiet neighbourhood. Detectives combed through the crime scene, searching for any trace of evidence that might lead them to Karina's killer. The park, once a place of serenity, had now become a haunting place of secrets and shadows. Every leaf, every twig, every footprint held the potential to reveal the truth. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the Vetrano family refused to give up hope. Their story resonated with people across the nation, and the Howard Beach community stood united in their quest for justice. Vigils, fundraisers, and search parties became a common sight as the community rallied behind the grieving family. Months passed, and the investigation seemed to hit a dead end. But just as all hope appeared to be lost, a breakthrough occurred. DNA evidence recovered from Karina's body and the crime scene pointed to a potential suspect. It was a ray of hope that the family had been desperately waiting for. In February 2017, the New York City Police Department made a pivotal arrest. They took into custody a man named Chanel Lewis, a local resident who had been on their radar. Lewis's DNA had been a match to the evidence found at the crime scene. It was a moment of relief for the Vetrano family, a step closer to closure. The trial of Chanel Lewis was nothing short of a courtroom drama. The prosecution meticulously presented their case, relying on the DNA evidence and Lewis's confession to the crime. The defense, on the other hand, argued that Lewis's confession had been coerced and that he was not the true perpetrator.
These are Karina's shoes.
After a lengthy and emotional charge trial, the jury reached a verdict. Chanel Lewis was found guilty of the murder of Karina Vetrano. The courtroom erupted in applause and tears of relief. Finally, after years of heartache and uncertainty, justice had been served. The verdict brought closure to the Vetrano family, but their lives would never be the same. The pain of losing their beloved daughter and the trauma of the trial would forever be etched into their hearts. The Howard Beach community, however, could breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that a dangerous predator was behind bars. The case of Karina Vetrano is a story of heartbreak, resilience, and the enduring pursuit of justice. It is a testament to the strength of a grieving family, the power of a united community, and the dedication of law enforcement officers who tirelessly work to solve the case. As we reflect on this tragic story, we remember Karina's radiant smile and the dreams that were stolen from her. May her memories serve as a reminder of the importance of standing together in the face of darkness and the enduring quest for justice in the name of those we have lost.